up, Jay? Trump has changed. Okay. How's it going, man?
Not too bad.
What do you want to talk about today?
Yeah, I mean, I just got back from Delaney Hall as a private security for a high-end political figure, Jake Lang. Also, also, we're going to the White House event, the 250 Fan Fest.
Okay. What do you want to talk about?
We can talk about anything. I mean, you steer the direction, ask me questions,
Do you
hit me with your
support Trump?
best. I support a lot of things about the Trump administration. But as far as Trump personally, I mean, I care less. As long as there's some people focusing on immigration, that's really all I care about.
Immigration is all you care about?
That's one of the main things. Correct.
Sure. What is
We're
Trump
seeing.
doing on immigration?
I mean, look at it. Look at Delaney Hall. Look at all
What
the
about
other
Delaney Hall?
immigration.
People are dying at Delaney Hall, right?
Yep.
Okay. So what is he doing with immigration? I'm confused. Besides horrible
Okay.
conditions
So is your
or
argument that he's not
beating.
doing anything?
No, I'm
Is your
asking
argument
you
that he's
what
not
you
doing
support.
anything?
No, I'm asking you for your argument as to what he's doing with immigration. You're not providing anything of substance.
Correct. So mass detention, mass deportations, mass agenda being pushed
Okay, mass
on
deportations, mass
immigration,
detentions,
a
and mass agenda.
huge global statement and news headline: "Do not come to America illegally."
Okay, that's a pivot from what he said in 2022 when he said, "Come into America, all the borders are wide open." But I'll just you said mass deportations, uh, mass what the fuck did you say? Agenda, and then that
Detention.
other one. Yeah, you said mass deportation, mass agenda, and mass like detention centers. Okay, sure. What's one benefit of mass deportation to the average American?
Less cartels, less schmugs, less violent gang rapings,
Less cartels, less
less terrorists. Yeah, less terror groups is a big one. I'd like to focus on that,
Sure. Okay. Less
especially when it
cartels,
comes
less
to.
violent gang rape, and then less terrorist groups. Okay, sure. So first off, we'll start with the fact that undocumented immigrants are multiple times less likely to commit any sort of violent crime or bad crime, i.e., rape or something like petty theft. In fact, mass deportation would increase crime, so it would increase violent crime and bad crime, i.e., rape or petty theft. Those would be increased under a mass deportation policy. Second off, you said you care about getting terrorists out of our country. Well, Donald Trump himself has pardoned violent terrorists and domestic terrorists, well, domestic and foreign terrorists. So I don't think you care about terrorists because you actively support a president who is pardoning them and letting them into our country, roaming free in the streets. People who have trafficked tons of the sea drug into our country, pardoned. People who attacked police officers on January 6th, pardoned. People who pled guilty to assaulting police officers got pardoned. So these two, it's a misconception that undocumented immigrants are criminal rapists, terrorists that like are here to ruin our country. No, that's literally not true according to statistics. In fact, what you want to do, mass deportation, would increase crime.
Would increase crime or crime rate based upon capita?
It would increase crime rate, yes.
Okay, but not crime. We would have less crime overall, correct?
What do you mean by less crime overall?
Right. I mean, if we take people out of the country, and even if a small percentage of them are committing crime, there'd be less crime overall.
No, there would still be more crime overall.
No, per
Yes.
capita, maybe. If
Overall, there would
it's
still be more
true,
crime.
no,
Yes.
it's 100% incorrect.
Okay. Prove me wrong. Or I mean, you haven't even heard my argument. My argument would just be A equals B and B equals C. Mass deportation increases poverty. Poverty increases crime. Mass deportation increases crime.
Do we know? Do we? So you're telling me that
Yes, we
poverty
know this by
increased over?
statistics.
Hold on, underneath the Obama administration, poverty increased.
Underneath the what Obama did and what
Is
Donald
that what
Trump
you
did are
say?
completely different.
No. You said mass deportations in
Yes, Obama
general
didn't do a mass
means more
deportation.
poverty, and more poverty Obviously, must have happened underneath the Obama administration then.
No, Obama didn't do a mass deportation of every single undocumented immigrant. He went after violent criminals or bad criminals.
See, you're not making much sense here. I mean, it took me 2 seconds to just convince you, even yourself, that what you're saying is complete bullshit. Mass deportations does not lead to poverty,
Yes, it does. A
and
mass deportation would
it's
ruin the economy.
proven,
If we do a
it's
mass
proven
deportation of
by the
11
Biden
million
administration,
unauthorized
by the
workers, it
Obama.
would decrease the GDP revenue by 1.1 to 1.7 trillion dollars, reduce our GDP growth in numbers as seen as the 2008 recession. We would lose hundreds of $1 billion in taxes, billions in Social Security and Medicaid. Right. So yes, our economy would go bad. Inflation would skyrocket in a mass deportation policy. Okay, so it's facts. Right, and then we take a look at FBI data records. With poverty comes more crime. So yes, mass deportation does increase crime.
So what you're saying is that underneath the Obama administration, we saw more
Why are we talking about
poverty
Obama? We're talking about Donald Trump.
because he was the last president to do mass
He
deportations.
didn't do mass deportation.
Yes, he did.
He deported 11 million unauthorized workers.
11 million. Is that what Obama or is that what Trump did?
That's what a mass deportation plan is, and his plan is mass deportation. That is what he's advocating for. That's why I'm saying mass deportation is harmful, right? Mass deportation is deporting every single unauthorized worker or every single unauthorized person here in the United States, which is around 11 million, right?
Delightful.
So can we keep track? Obama didn't do a mass deportation.
There's
Trump hasn't
14
either.
or 15.4 million. The
Trump
last
hasn't.
Pew
Trump
Research.
hasn't. Trump hasn't done a mass deportation either. I'm saying this is his plan, and I'm telling you why his plan is bad.
Right. So the last Pew Research study in 2023 was that we had 15.4 illegal immigrants here in the United States today. We are now at almost 3 years later than that research came out. So, or that study came out. So, we're obviously more than 15.4 illegal immigrants now. And the last one done before that was in 2022 when they had 11 million. So, if we influxed 3 million in 1 year, and if we did that every year since, we're at around 20 million now if my math is math.
No, your math is not mathing. There was not 3 million in 1 year. There was around 4 million, less than 4 million undocumented immigrants entering the country under the entirety of the Biden-Harris administration. That's false.
I just got off a phone call. What was that?
Yeah. So what you said that there was 3 million in 1 year, and by 2023 to 2022 to 2023, that's false. Under the 4 years of the Joe Biden administration, we had less than 4 million undocumented immigrants under the 4 years. So that's false already.
No, no. Pew Research Institute, one of the studies that they did, was in 2022, and they said there was around 11 million. And then
Okay,
the
are they
next
counting
study, the
border
next year in
encounters or
2023. Can I
entry?
finish? Can I
What
finish?
are they
And
counting?
then, the next study in 2023
You're
came out
repeating
to
yourself. Why?
15.4.
Why are you
Right.
repeating yourself? I addressed this. Undocumented immigrants, there was only less than 4 million that came into our country under the Biden Harris. See, now we're repeating ourselves. This is why I interrupted
Right,
you,
right,
because
right, right, right,
we are
right. So,
repeating
so, so,
ourselves and
so
we're
what are we
wasting
doing? We're
time.
just finding more that are hidden inside of our country,
No, it's because what
or more coming in.
you're saying counts border encounters. Okay, we want to border encounters could be people who got encountered more than once but didn't come into our country, etc., etc. Right? What I'm referencing is undocumented immigrants that came into our country, stayed into our country, right? And that is going to be less than 4 million under the Biden Harris administration. So what you're saying is either A, being misrepresented, including border encounters, or B, you're just straight up lying.
How many people did the Obama or the Biden administration turn away from the border?
I don't know that exact number.
What percentage?
I don't know that exact number.
Yeah, not a whole lot.
Okay, which, yeah, what percentage then?
Like 15%.
What's your source?
Hold on.
Sure.
I'm on top of a ladder right now. Doing the jobs that American citizens don't want to do.
Dun, 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 dun. Damn, I'm seeing it's like I'm seeing sources that say around like 70%. So, I mean, if you can give me a source that says otherwise, what I'm reading says around 68 to 75%. Right.
What's your source? Biased sources?
No, I don't even know. It's a .brookings.edu tracking turnover rate in the Biden administration.
My source is saying 40.
40%? Okay, so you lied when you said 15.
Yeah, I was mistaken.
Sure, so let's say somewhere around 40 to 60, right? Okay. Meet in the middle, say 50, right? I'm assuming yours is far right. You're gonna assume mine
Call
is
it,
far left. We can say
my,
50%.
yeah, let's call it 47.5 because mine's saying 40 to 55. Call it
Okay.
47.5.
Sure. Okay. What's your point? What's the turnover rate for Donald Trump's first term? Can you tell me that?
How many people is he denying
Let's talk
access?
about his first term because his first term is complete. So what's his turnover rate in his first term? Happy Pride, everyone. I mean, we obviously know Biden deported more than Donald Trump, so. But let's see.
I don't know. My Google AI is saying almost 100%.
Your Google is so no one came into the country undocumented under Donald Trump. Oh, in his first term.
Almost 100%.
Okay, it's obviously ridiculous. There were, if the Donald Trump administration deported millions, we can actually see how many people came into our country. In fact, how about I just like pull up a graph?
Well, some of those are considering visas. People that flew in. It's like, yeah, if they couldn't get into the country one way, they got in another.
Okay, sure. So what's your point here? What are you trying to prove with like the turnover rate?
Well, tell me the percentage underneath Trump's first administration.
I can't find one. I'm seeing PBS. That's 2025. Cato Institute. Um, it's just talking about the green cards they cut. Let's just say, I'm not seeing anything about his Trump versus Biden on immigration. Let's see. Okay. Yeah, I'm not seeing anything, and I wouldn't trust Google AI. I don't really use AI on this live. But what was your point with bringing up Biden's turnover rate? You said 15%. What were you trying to prove? Now that we agreed it's around like the high 40s.
Yeah. So even high 40s. I mean, um, how many border run-ins or encounters did we have to accept? Even if it's 47%, and yours was 60%, which is like not helping your argument at all. You actually went the wrong way. You should have chose 40, and I should have chose 60. I mean, it just doesn't make much sense on um, why you think that this is okay to happen to our country. We
It
should
wasn't
have
Biden's
a
fault.
cap on how many people we allow in the country. My personal opinion is I think it should be somewhere around 400,000 a year.
Immigrants
Um,
in general or undocumented immigrants?
People who plan on staying in the country, not just visa workers. It's like, yeah, you could consider visa workers sometimes immigrants, but no, people who plan on living the rest of their life inside of this country.
So including legal migration, 400,000 is absolutely absurd. First off, second off, what has Donald Trump done for immigration though? Like, what has he done? Can you give me a policy, an immigration
Why is that
policy that he's
absolutely
done?
absurd? Absurd.
400,000, right?
Yeah,
We
divide
already
that by
have
50
in 20.
states. That's like 9,000 people per state. Divide that per county, and like you would have like 500 people per county. I mean, like that's a lot of people.
Sure. We also have in 2025 the first time there was a population growth slowed or I think decrease for the first time in 2025 because of immigration, right? That's not a good thing. First off, second off, what has Donald Trump done? I'll just repeat. What has Donald Trump done for immigration policy? Like, can you give me an immigration policy of his that you support that he's done in his second term?
There's no policies.
Okay, so then how is he doing what he's
I
doing at the
believe that
border?
it was touched on a little bit inside the big beautiful bill. I don't think that it was like necessarily its own policy.
So then what is he doing? He isn't doing anything then? No executive order, nothing, no law
Obviously,
passed.
things are happening.
But how?
Obviously,
How are they
things are
happening?
happening. People are getting direct orders from their superiors at ICE that are getting their direct orders from both JD Vance and Trump, and they're being told what to do and how to go about the border and things of that nature.
ICE
So
is internal.
as far as what are they, you asking me what are they doing? Is your argument that nothing is being done?
My argument is that yes, they have not done no policy, nor executive order, no nothing to actually solve this border crisis. They're just violating human rights, constitutional rights, and natural rights of undocumented immigrants and American citizens. That would be my
Okay,
argument.
so they
Yes,
are doing something.
I would
How
argue
are they
that
doing
violating
that? Did they
human
do that
rights.
with policy?
I
Did they
would.
do that with policy?
I would argue that violating human rights, constitutional rights, and natural rights is not something they should do.
Okay, are they doing it with policy?
No,
Okay, so they're not doing anything then. What policy?
they're violating the law.
Yeah, with what policy?
Sure, I can point you to an internal memo that I signed that violates the Fourth Amendment, giving the directive of ICE agents to not enter homes without warrants. I could point you to where he attempted to pass an unconstitutional executive order banning birthright citizenship. I can point you to the illegal deportation of 200 Venezuelans, including Kilmar Garcia, who was beaten, tortured, and starved in El Salvador. Per Nayib Bukele, Donald Trump knew what was happening to him.
Okay, but which policy?
I pointed to a policy, an internal memo of ICE.
A memo
Yeah.
about policy, really? Okay.
So yeah, so he tried to pass a policy, but it got struck down because
Oh,
checks and
okay.
balances still uphold. But the point is here, you don't need a policy to violate human rights and constitutional rights or civil rights, right? But you do need a policy to enact something at the border, like i.e., you need to get past something passed through Congress to build a border wall. You need to sign an
Has the
executive
border
order.
changed without policy?
Has the border changed without policy? Yes.
Okay, so something is being done.
And I told you what's being done. They're violating constitutional rights, human rights, and natural rights. My argument
At the
here is I
border,
just don't support that.
at the border, they're violating people's rights.
No, not even at the border. Everywhere.
Okay, because we were just talking about the border, and then you switched to violating rights. No, so people's rights aren't being
So
violated at the border,
I
but
don't
there
think you're
are
tracking
changes
me.
happening at the border other than people's rights being violated.
The
Correct.
reason why there is less undocumented entry into our country is because ICE and this administration is violating human rights, constitutional rights, and civil rights and natural rights, right? Undocumented immigrants don't want to come into a country like that. And we see this because this is corroborated by tourism and legal migration. Both are down in 2025. Okay. So, yes, undocumented entry has decreased, but it's because of those reasons.
I gotta go, buddy. Take it easy.
Sure, take care.